Hi, Lion. So good to see you again. We are going to do another lesson today to help you to become automatic with your reading and spelling. All right, we're going to get started with rhyming. Remember, learning how to rhyme can help you to spell new words. We're going to rhyme with all, okay? All together, haul. All together, mall. All, call, all, tall, all, ball, all, together, stall. Okay, listen to the words. I'm going to repeat them. I'm going to say the words that we just made. Listen for the rhyming part. Haul, mall, call, tall, ball, stall. What was the part that rhymed? All, you're right. The rhyme is the ending part that sounds the same. So if I can spell the word ball, if I'm trying to spell, if I already know how to spell ball and I want to spell the word call or mall or stall, then I know it's going to end the same as the word ball. Okay, here's something else that's going to help you with your spelling. We're going to say a word. Okay, you're going to say the word, and then I want you to tap out the sounds. When we spell and we don't know how to spell something, you want to stretch out the sounds, and then you use a letter or letters to represent that sound. Okay, say nets. We had several nets on the boat to scoop up the fish. Nets. Sound it? Net. Nets. Say mops, mops. Sound it? Mops, mops. So you see that there were 4 sounds in mops. So I would want to make sure I had letters to represent all 4 sounds. Say naps, naps. They take naps on the weekend. Boy, that sounds wonderful. Naps. Sound it? Naps, naps. Good job. Say beds. The beds were made. Beds. Sound it? Beds, beds. Last one. Say nuts, nuts. They had peanuts and cashews, almonds, all different kinds of nuts. Sound it? Nuts, nuts. Good job. Okay, let's review our sounds. No new sounds today. We are going to review the sounds we've already learned. Remember, W says W. Together, W. Your turn. Good. Just like the wailing wind. O says ah. Together, ah. Your turn. Good. Show me the hand signal for ah. Yes, the tentacles for the octopus. Good job. M says together, your turn, just like the humming monkey. G says g, together, g, your turn, like the gulping goose. P says p, together, p, your turn, just like patting pizza. Y at the end of a small word says I. Together, I. Your turn. Good job. T says t. Together, t. Your turn. Like tick-tock clock. I says I. Together, I. Your turn. Should be the hand signal for I. Yes, it's like an itch. Ooh. Can barely get out of the way now. We have so many sounds. U says together, your turn. Like the up arrow. Show me the U sound. Good job. N says together, your turn. just like nose noise. Remember, we learned these pictures. That way, if you forget the sound that the letter makes, you might remember the picture. And so, in, I would think, okay, nose noise, which is Okay, E says together. Your turn. Good. Show me the hand signal for like the edge. Yes, like you're running your hand across the edge of a table or a book or a counter. L says together. Your turn. Like the licking lollipop. Now remember, when you have the at the end of a word, usually there's going to be two of them. B says b. Together, b. Your turn. Just like the batting ball. When you make B, first you make a stick and then the ball. It's like we have a bat and then the ball. K says k. Together, k. Your turn. Like kick the can. We have 3 different ways to make the k sound. It's trying to get away from me. R says together, your turn, like the racing robot. S says together, your turn, just like the hissing snake. C says together, your turn, like kick the can. F says together, your turn, like the flying fish. H says together, your turn, like the huffing horse. Remember, if you have trouble saying, put your hand in front of your mouth. You're going to feel your breath. That can remind you of how to make the sound. CK says together, your turn. Just like kick the can. Remember, when you see or you are spelling CK, if you're spelling k and it's at the end of a word, it's usually going to be CK together. When you have 2 letters that make one sound, it is called a digraph. It's just a fancy way of saying there are 2 letters, they're making one sound. All together, all. Your turn. When we see these 3 letters together, rather than saying al and trying to blend them back together, you just read it as all. Like in the words ball, tall, mall, hall, fall, all those words we were rhyming with earlier. A says together, your turn. Good. Show me the hand signal for Yes, it's like you're picking the apple from the tree. D says d. Together, d. Your turn. Just like the digging dog. Remember, when you make the D, it's circle and then stick. It's the opposite of the B. Sometimes people can get them confused. It's easy to do. That's why we practice that every time. Okay, now we're going to practice those sounds in words. Because we don't want to just know the sound on a card. We want to be able to read words with those sounds. Let's get started. An, pan, n, pen. This is a pen, like a pen that I would write with. In, pin. So pen, pen. This pen is like a safety pen. Egg, leg. At, bat. Skid, skid. Something that might skid is if, let's say you're on a bicycle and the road's wet and you have to put on your brakes really fast and your bike goes sliding. That's skidding. Wet, wet. Will. Did you notice there's two L's at the end of that word? So usually a word that ends with the L sound has two L's. Fog, fog. Fog is when you look outside and it looks like there's clouds down low, that's fog. Usually it happens when it's been really hot outside and then cold air comes through. Hot, hot. Rod, rod. Okay, I just want to add, so these are base words. Remember, a base word is a word that does not have an ending on it. Let's add the S suffix. Remember, S can be added to the end of a base word. And when you have S at the end of a base word, it usually makes it mean more than one. So if we have one pan, like I might be cooking with one pan, that's just one. But if we have pans, it's more than one. I might have two pans going on the stove. I might have four pans. But when we add S to the end, it makes it plural or more than one. So the second word, pen, I'm writing with a pen, is just one. But when I add S to the end, it changes in the meaning of the word pens. So now it's more than one. Now I might be talking about two pens or three pens. So just by adding that suffix to the end of the base word, it changes what the word means. Let's skip down here to this one, bat. So bat, if I'm playing baseball, I might have a bat. But if I add S to the end, it's bats. So I might have four bats. I might have a wiffle ball bat. I might have a t-ball bat. So adding S to the end, S is a suffix. A suffix is just a fancy way of saying an ending to a word. And it makes the word plural or meaning more than one. Okay, lions. We are going to stop here, take a little break, and then join me right back here so we can do practice with heart words and spelling and read a new story. I think you're really going to like it. All right, take a break, and I'll see you back in a few minutes. And don't forget, we just learned that we have a base word, which is a word without an ending, a suffix that we can add to the end of words is S, and that just makes it mean more than one. Isn't that cool? You can add one letter to the end of a word and it changes the meaning of it. Pretty cool. All right.